Truth is, we got to the last halacha, but for some reason, the last 3 minutes of last week's shir did not record. So I'm going to go over the second to last halacha.
Yeah, I think sometimes the recording stops working like in the very, very last minutes.
Yeah, so we'll go over it. The
Do you want to start recording?
Yeah, it's recording. It's recording.
It doesn't look like it.
He uses a separate camera.
Oh, there it is. It's recording. It is recording.
It is. If you go into participants, it says recording. Well, hi, Mobe.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Happy birthday yesterday.
Oh.
Thank you. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, happy birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday. Okay, so we are the halacha daled. Lo nisavu hanavim the Chachamim Neviim Yemos Mashiach. The Chachamim Neviim did not have a desire for the days of Mashiach. Lo kadei sheyishletu al kol olam, not that they should rule the entire world. Lo kadei sheyirdu ba'akum, nor that they should be overlords over the non-Jews. Lo kadei sheyinasu osam amim, not that the other nations of the world will uplift us. Not to eat nor drink nor to rejoice. Now, it's important to know, this goes back to our discussion of Hasidim and Misnagdim, right? The Rambam lived well before the time of the Vilna Gaon and Hasidim Misnagdim, but had the Rambam been alive at the time of the Machlekes and the Hasidim Misnagdim, he certainly would have been a Misnagid. Reb Nachman Breslover was very opposed to learning Rambam, because the Rambam was such a big Misnagid. So here we see that the Rambam makes that clear, because he says we're not looking for the days of Mashiach to eat, to drink, and to be happy, to make merry. Now, if you're a chassid, that's all the days of Mashiach are about. A chassid is there because you want to feel the dveikus in Hashem, have great simcha, the dveikus in Hashem, so therefore you want to eat, drink, and be happy. I haven't said this in the Chassidish here,
That's just like Breslovers.
What? Yes, like Breslovers, right. Breslovers are probably the closest to the Baal Shem Tov type of Chassidus that we have today. So the idea is that the Chassidim all changed something important from before Chassidus existed, which was to say at the time of the Rambam, it was assumed that if you wanted to be a holy person, you would fast a lot, you wouldn't eat too much, you certainly wouldn't drink too much, and you basically try and find all of your time occupied with serious intellectual stuff. Along came the Baal Shem Tov and said, and of course this is what worked for the common people, is that no, you can be close to Hashem through eating and drinking, and sometimes lots of drinking, and experiencing that simcha in a like with a Chassidim.
That's for Purim. You drink a lot.
Right, but that's not as much as Purim. But the Chassidim are of the belief that one's dveikus is accomplished best when there's eating, drinking, and simcha. And you know, there is in Chazal, in Mesavos Baba Basra, elsewhere discusses the big feast for the tzaddikim, which will take place in Yemos Mashiach. The Suda, or it's not clear if it's the Yemos Mashiach or the day after in Olam Haba, but the point is it's described as eating and drinking. Eating the Livyason, eating the Shor HaBor, which is a certain wild ox, drinking the Yain HaMeshumar Banova Mishes Bereshis, drinking an outstanding wine. So if you...
I thought that's after the meal of Gogu Magog.
What?
Rebbe.
Yes, who's speaking?
His internet is not...
Who's speaking? Tzvi?
Rebecca, for your internet isn't so...
Oh, mine is unstable.
Internet doesn't look like it's so...
I don't know what... I have to wait till it comes back.
No, for you, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We can see you. Oh, there you are.
Now we can see you.
Okay, so was somebody asking a question? Somebody asked a question about Gog and Magog. No? Okay.
Rebbe.
Yes.
War of Gogu Magog. It happened again, seriously? Okay.
Okay. So So Chassidim may take that very literally, that there's going to be a great Farbrengen, as Lubavitchers call it, a great Tish, as the other Chassidim call it, at the time when.
Rabbi, your internet or your bandwidth or something isn't so good because you keep on freezing and then your audio goes off.
Let me see if I can close some stuff, and maybe that'll make it better.
And Springtime just got kicked out.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the Zoom. No, he's still there. He was still there. His camera's just off. He was still there.
So we can't see him?
No, he just turned his camera on. He's still there.
Let's say,
I don't even see a blank screen.
What do you mean? Go into participants and Akiva has his camera off, but he's there.
Me,
There
I'm
he
here.
is. His camera's on. He's on.
What are you on?
I don't know.
I'm here.
Nice.
Rebbe, Shai
Yes.
is coming on.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I think I closed the wrong screen.
It's good. Hey, you want to know a good trick to do in class?
Rebbe, can you speak?
While you're in Zoom?
Can you hear me
In
now?
this background and you go, yeah.
You put on what?
Put a space background off and you go,
Okay, so let me just see if there's anything else I can close here.
okay.
Oh,
Shai's not even in.
Rebbe, you froze again, so you might get me. So,
Oh, Shai is in.
Rebbe, go off and come
No. Just mute yourselves. Oh, Rifkin just put. Okay, mute yourselves. Let's go. Get ready.
Okay, am I still frozen?
No.
you're better.
Wait,
We'll
do
tell
not
you if you
forget.
freeze. We'll
Okay.
tell you if you freeze.
Okay. So, like I was saying, the Hasidim can believe that the Hasidim can believe that the Suda is literal, which it says, but the Rambam would believe that the Suda, and many Misnagdim would believe the Suda, which it says, is going to take place either at the time of Moshiach or the time of Olam Haba. It's not literal. It's talking about people are going to absorb wisdom the same way they absorb food and drink in this world. And in the Moshe Mashiach, the Rambam is saying here that they want to be Pnuyim, but Torah v'chachmasa. They want to be free of all worries and just be involved in Torah and learning its wisdom. V'lo yelem no gesim batel. I'm not going to have anybody who's going to disturb them and is going to cause them to stop learning. Kadesh is kul chayil mabah, in order to merit the world to come. Now, this is an interesting point, which the Rambam says, which not everybody notes all the time, which is that the Yemos Mashiach, you're still working on Yolam Haba, according to the Rambam. Even though Mashiach has come, and it's much easier to serve Hashem, you still need to work on Yolam Haba. Why is that? So the Rambam, obviously, because Rambam holds that Olam Haba, I don't know if it's obvious, but let me make it clear to you. Everybody except the Rambam basically holds that Olam Haba is a physical place. It takes place on the planet Earth after the world is destroyed for 1,000 years. The Rambam holds that Olam Haba is not a physical place. That after the world is destroyed, there is no longer any physical existence. Human beings will just be spiritual, not material. So therefore,
So he's saying, so what everyone's saying is that it's after you die, you're still a physical thing.
after you die, what? After you die, you're spiritual.
Something physical. It's not just.
No, after you die, you're spiritual.
So this is
The question is, when?
Olam Haba.
Right. The question is, when is Tchias HaMesim, and is it permanent? So according to the Rambam, Tchias HaMesim is not permanent. It happens, people are judged, and then they all become spiritual. Everybody leaves their material existence.
Not everyone. You won't actually come to church.
Everybody comes back to Tchias HaMesim in order to be judged. And the idea according to Rambam Tchias HaMesim is that people have to be judged the same way they committed their mitzvahs and averus. If they committed their mitzvahs and averus when they were alive in a body, They have to be judged alive and in a body. Okay? That's the Rambam's opinion. And then the Rambam was after Tchias HaMeisim, people are no longer alive. They go back to being completely spiritual. I think we'll do next week. We'll take a look at that Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva. According to the Ramban and others, Tchias HaMeisim does not take place in this cycle at the year 6000. Takes place at the beginning of the next cycle in the year 7000. And that's when the Tchias HaMeisim takes place. That's when Olam Haba begins.
What cycle?
What?
What cycle?
The next cycle means the next time the world is recreated. The world is destroyed for 1,000 years in between. So that means that there are 1,000 years between
Gemara
the
and Rosh
cycles.
Hashanah, no?
What?
Gemara and Rosh Hashanah.
Come on, several places there. Rosh Hashanah, Sanhedrin.
That's like sort of an Ari Kaplan.
Right. Mary Kaplan speaks about it.
So
Lynn.
you die, you're spiritual, you come back in the next cycle, then you
They remain alive.
And then you remain alive forever?
Well, that's a good question, but let's assume that. Okay, for our purposes right now. So that's probably there are differences of opinion, but probably. So,
First cycle?
what?
No.
The first cycle?
We're not in the first cycle. We don't know what cycle we're in. The second, fourth, sixth, or
Are
seventh.
we in like the second seventh world? Hashem.
We're either again. There are different opinions among the Mekubalim. Second, fourth, sixth, or seventh. What?
That's a midrash.
No, it's not a medrash. It's the medrash doesn't say which cycle we're in. The Kabbalists argue the point, but it's not a medrash. So the
Wait, but we're definitely not on the first?
we're definitely not in the first, right? Because we know that there were human beings here before us, right?
Yeah, they were like 706 or something.
974 generations. So the
So
yeah,
that
go ahead.
means Adam wasn't the beginning. So why does it say Bereshis bara?
That's in this cycle.
This cycle.
According to this understanding, there was already at the beginning of
So it's a different Torah?
so the Tiferes Yisrael says that Torah wasn't given in the previous cycles. That's why they were not particularly good people. Torah. This is the first cycle which the Torah was given.
Is that why it was destroyed, or was it just?
Yes, that's why it was destroyed.
So because we have the Torah, why would we get destroyed?
Because we're not perfect. It's every cycle. Every cycle is progress, but it's not perfection until the seventh cycle. Okay, person. There is if a Kosh Baruch Hu what?
You should send out the packet.
They should read the packet. Yes, I'm happy to send it out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you should send it out.
Okay, so I'll send it out in the classroom. Yeah, I know, but now it's okay, right? It's still frozen. So
No, you're fine.
okay, so so maybe I'll send it out as an assignment. It's not a bad assignment. So in any event, so the world to come.
Please don't make us read it.
Why?
You want to, Shia?
What? It's very interesting. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, but be that as it may, we're getting distracted here. So the people are in according to the Rambam in Yemos HaMashiach are acquiring wisdom because Olam Haba is all about wisdom. So therefore, if you want to be in Olam Haba, because it's a completely spiritual place, you have to acquire as much knowledge as you can, so that you have your intellectual self and your spiritual neshama, which is going to be in Olam Haba. So that's why the Rambam is saying, at that time, Yemos HaMashiach, it'd be a great time to learn, because you won't be distracted so much, and you'll be able to enhance your Olam Haba. That's what the Rambam holds. Those who don't focus like the Rambam so much on intellect, but more on actions and Torah mitzvahs, not just Torah learning, but mitzvos, and certainly those who focus on the idea of Musar, that a person should be able to overcome the Yetzer Hara. So for them, the Yemos Mashiach are not as exciting, so to speak, as the days before Mashiach comes. Because now we have many more challenges, many more temptations, and we get more reward for the mitzvahs we do and for the averos we don't do. At the time when Mashiach comes, we're going to get less reward for the mitzvahs we do, and more punishment for the averos we do, because we're going to be on a higher. We're going to be free of all this, of many of the things which distract us and bring us to sin in this world. Okay?
Is it true there's gonna be no Yetzer Hara when Mashiach comes?
No, there's always the Yetzer Hara, even all in my book. The Yetzer Hara is a person's emotional self, and a person cannot be completely free of emotion. Then a person would be a robot. So therefore, the Yetzer Hara doesn't go away completely. It becomes improved and enhanced, and then you can feel what it says in Shema. Yeah. The Satan is destroyed. The Satan, he is the one who tries to use the Yetzer Hara to entrap you. Chazal say that the Satan is shechted, or the Yetzer Hara is shechted, but the Zohar says shechted doesn't mean it's going to be destroyed. It's going to be edible. In other words, it's going to be made manageable. It's not going to be a threat to us, but something which enhances our avodas Hashem. That happens though not in Yemos Mashiach. It happens in Olam Haba. Okay, so in Moshe Mashiach there's still Yetzer Hara like we have today, but the circumstances are much easier, and there's less of an enticement for the Yetzer Hara to grab hold of us. Okay, makes sense? So again, according to the Rambam.
So our Yetzer Hara.
Yeah. Yes.
Our Yetzer Hara is going to be lessened, and our
yes, they're not going to be that many people are not going to be focused have so many temptations. Your internal Yetzer Hara will still be the same one in Yemos Mashiach. That doesn't change. But the external temptations, there'll be many fewer distractions and temptations. Okay? So that is the so that means lo yelem no gesum vatel. They're not going to have anybody who's going to try to distract us from avodas Hashem from the outside. Okay. In Bible, you mean the environment will be beautiful?
screaming in the back.
You mean will the environment be beautiful? What are you asking?
No, I'm saying, like you said gold will be like dirt. But will gold still have its
No, it won't still have that value. That's the point.
Will it still have its beauty? No, will it still be like a shining thing that that people still wear as necklaces and earrings and all of that, or is that just gonna be something else?
I think that people still
Nice,
I think people still appreciate that gold looks nice, but it won't be expensive. The question is whether gold looks nice.
So everyone will think that dirt's amazing. Everyone will think that dirt's amazing.
Well, there'll be something like a question. Is an interesting question. Would gold be so precious and so much sought after and so beautiful if it was cheap? What do you think? I'm not sure. Could be gold that's only so beautiful because it's expensive. So I don't know the answer.
Chicken fat.
What, chicken fat?
Yeah, I'm only thinking of the same thing as me.
What about?
Schmaltz?
It's like the muscle that the guy goes to an island.
You get diamonds that are on the street.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then
He gets and he goes
tries to pay with it.
Right.
And then he
Nothing
comes back.
happens, so he gets the schmaltz and he gets the it brings it over.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good question. That is exactly what it's going to be in Moshe Mashiach, and the question is whether gold will be worth picking up, or everybody's going to want the chicken fat. Yes. Veloya Asek Kola Olam Elala. Kind of freezing. What's going on today? Veloya Asek. Oh, it seemed like it.
Perfectly good.
Veloya Asek Kolam Eladas Es Hashem Bilvad. People's whole pursuit would be to know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lefichach Yu Yisrael Chachamim Gedolim.
Okay, mute.
The Jews will be great sages, v'yolim dvarim stumim, and they'll know hidden stuff. V'yasigu das boram, and they'll understand as much of Hashem's wisdom, k'fi koach adam, like a person could possibly understand. I have to tell you, in all honesty, I have no idea what Yemos Mashiach are worth, or what, for that matter, Olam Haba is worth, according to the Rambam, for women. Because according to the Rambam, it seems that everything is meant to be intellectual, and the Rambam held that women are non-intellectual.
What about non-Jews?
What? Oh, so non-Jews is a separate issue, because again, women, non-Jewish women, I don't know. But evidently the Rambam holds that the Jewish sages will be teaching as much as they possibly can to the non-Jews as well. In other words, the Rambam holds that we're going to be the Chachamim Gedolim, we're going to know a lot, and we're going to teach whatever we can to people who are not the Chachamim Gedolim. And that way everybody will accomplish something according to whatever level they can accomplish. So that, again, that works for people who are capable of studying and learning, even if they're not big Talmidei Chachamim. According to the Rambam, as I said, however, women are not intellectual. So that's a big problem according to the Rambam. We, of course, nowadays do not have the same attitude towards women as prevailed in the entire world at the time of the Rambam. But that was the attitude back then. Yes.
You're saying before about like the different like worlds. Is it? Okay, you gotta stop screaming. Is it Ethnoshasia different for every world?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I would assume not. I assume because I think our assumption is that Eretz Yisrael has its Kedusha throughout time. In other words, and even Olam Haba, Yerushalayim will still be where it is today. So I think that focal point remains true in every world. But I can't tell you for sure. That's just my speculation. Okay, so let's finish the last line here. Shneimar Kimol Haaretz Deis Hashem Kamayim Hayam Mechasim. The world will be full of knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like water covers the sea. It's interesting, this idea of water covers the sea. So the idea is that the Mayim, the water, is the waters of Torah, and they as Hashem is like water, and the oceans are like the human beings. The human beings are like big, empty oceans. And we're supposed to pour the water of Torah into them. And that water of Torah eventually covers the ocean, so the ocean is the ocean bed. And then it's fulfilled with the knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that is what happens to Yemos Mashiach. For however long it lasted, the Rambam and all the Rishonim anticipated that Yemos Mashiach would be very soon, and then they would last for a long time. The Ramban writes is going to come. Mashiach is going to come in the year 1300, sometime along then. The Rambam probably held a similar thing. So they thought Yemos Mashiach was going to be a long time.
Wasn't that story about Moshe Feinstein that he said he didn't want to get dentures because he didn't want like a mum because he knew he'd have to be on the bed on the Sanhedrin or something?
I didn't have dentures. They're a pacemaker. A pacemaker.
Whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
He knew
because it says that you can't be
How does he know that he was going to be on the Sanhedrin?
He didn't. He wanted to make sure he could be if he was around. He wanted to be a candidate.
Wait, so
I think he got the pacemaker. Al pi halacha, if you needed a pacemaker, you're not allowed to refuse it. You're not allowed to put yourself in danger. He probably felt that pacemaker is something when a person's heart.
It helps your heartbeat.
Yeah, it stimulates. It's electric impulses to make your heart beat at a regular rate.
Stop from a heart attack. Basically.
Yeah. So.
Wow, people.
So again, the Rambam's and all the Rishonim held that Yemos Mashiach will be a long time. At the time of the Vilna Gaon, the time of the Baal Shem Tov, they both thought Mashiach was right around the corner themselves, even though they were they were 500 years after the Rambam and Ramban, but still they thought Mashiach was going to come really soon. Now we're much later in history, and it seems that Yemos Mashiach is going to be really, really short. Why this is? It could be because of our Averos.
Keep going, I like that.
I'm sorry? It could be because of
Fire.
it could be because of Averos. It could be because of other reasons. But the point is that the most Mashiach now, the way we look at it in our day and age,
Okay, chill.
the way we understand Muslim Mashiach now is that Muslim Mashiach is when the world is going to become perfect as it can become. It's all the things which which are going wrong now will then start going right because people are going to be have more emunah, more bitachon, more belief in God, more trust in God, and therefore things are going to be able to come to a proper conclusion. And we have a principle: all's well that ends well. So therefore, the idea of Moshe Mashiach in our day and age has become more like that's the finish line, as opposed to in the Rambam's day when he thought of it as a long period which Torah is going to be learned and intellect is going to be enhanced. Okay, I think we'll stop here for today. And next week, which will be our official last class, we will do talk about the Olam Haba, what happens after Yemos Mashiach.
Okay, bye.
Okay, take care.
Ready.
Yes.